Hello, Governor.
Hey, yo, we
Uh,
back.
all
We
right.
live with this bad boy. Happy
Yeah.
Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Woo!
You know, it's crazy too, because I say it every week, and I was like, you know what? Because we know if we're gonna do this next week, I'm gonna
Yep.
go ahead and get in thumbnail hell, do the flyer, get it out there, just so we have enough time. Yeah, I ain't do none of that. I think I did the flyer like an hour ago. Like I
Hey man, it's Friday, brother.
it's been that
It's
kind of
fine.
week. It's just been that kind of week, dog. So I just like listen, and it was cool, you know what I'm saying? We have those weeks where we come in and we talk about some episode of something we watched, and I get all deep and I got my quotes and I'm ready.
Mhm.
I'm ready. Nah, this week, bruh, it's been rough. And you would think that last week was rougher after, the results of a national election that, no matter which side you was on, you was gonna be changed from that. And I think we was all changed. Even the people that voted for that change is like, wait, he said what now? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they was changed too. They're like, oh hell.
You got to read the fine print of that
Yeah,
decision.
yeah. All of us over here with our I told you so dance. Like, yeah.
I feel like
You didn't believe.
there needs to be one of them campaign ads where you know how my back in the day in the radio ads they had the guy that talk real fast and it'd be like,
Oh
well,
yeah.
especially if it was like a medicine or whatever it was, and they're
Mhm.
like these results might involve them. I feel like there needs to be like one of those things
Yeah, like an
after
auctioneer.
one of those. Yeah, exactly. Be like, oh yeah, taxes might change, personal
Well,
feelings
hello,
might change,
Jim
just so you
Jim
know.
Baines from England, jolly old England.
Hello,
Uh,
Jim.
hello. I wonder if you know what I love the British accent, and of course, hello, Governor. I don't even know why I started doing that. I did it, I think, one time on Bingeworthy on the Geekish Network. I just did it, and somebody was like, "Ah, I love that," and I was like, "Really?" And so I just did it kind of in jest, and it's just stuck.
And here we
But I
are.
wonder if British people's like, yeah, I hate y'all's fake ass British. Like, and y'all think y'all saying something like, hey, you want some tea and crumpets? And then like, man, if y'all shut the hell up, like them doing a southern accent or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've heard some god awful, and then it does kind of make you feel some kind of way sometimes. But it's all in the spirit of fun.
Well, I don't know. I like language, so hearing anyone's like dialects and like I love hearing people from Baltimore talk. They can't say that ooh sound, the you
Yeah,
sound. Like I
yeah.
think it's great. I right now I get a kick. I love listening to Glorilla talk. She's speaking normal for her, and it lights my heart up every time she says because it just sounds crazy, and I love it.
um, yo, just to change gears real quick, because I know we're probably going to talk about. I just want to go ahead and get it out the way. Yo,
Yeah.
Mike Tyson slapped the out of Jake Paul, man. I mean, I don't know if anybody's paid attention, but a grown man just slapped this dude, man.
Got slapped. And even I understand, like I even understand Jake Paul's response. Like he tried to act like it didn't hurt. That was cute and soft. I didn't even feel it. No.
Nah,
He
bro.
just slapped all the manhood at you, my
Look,
boy. Like you got slapped so hard, he just stood there like, did that really happen? I don't know what the hell. Did you see that Jake Paul has stepped on Mike Tyson's feet? Stepped on his toes?
Word.
Yeah, like Mike Tyson has had interviews forever, for years now, talking about how his feet are jacked up. Like his feet are like
LeBron toes.
LeBron James feet.
Yeah, get them Bron feet.
Yeah, and remember how back in the day people would get like way out of pocket if you stepped on their Jordans. Like
Yeah,
that is
yes.
a killable offense.
Yes.
But Mike Tyson is about that about his feet. Like if you step on his toes on his feet, it's just something it sets off the bull in him like immediately. Like it is a crazy thing. And he said that's what happened. You see the video where he stepped on his toe, just stood there as this face off. He did not expect it was going to go down that way.
Yeah, man. It reminds me of I'm gonna get you, sucker, man. He was like, whatever you do, don't step on these bunions. I'll kill everybody in the room. Don't step on these bunions. Yo, hey man, there's something about it, man. Like it's a violation. Shoe game today, even to this day. I mean, I'm a grown man. I had an issue maybe a couple of months ago. Somebody had spilled a drink, man, and and some of it got on my shoes, and I had to
Oh,
pause myself for a second. I had to take a couple of really deep breaths because it wasn't done on purpose, but it's just something about that, right? You know, it's something about your kicks, man. It's like, what
here's
you doing?
here's the thing for me, and that's how I have to watch myself. So, you know, I got 4 kids, right?
Mhm.
And because of them 4 kids, I don't get to buy myself like anything ever. And the last time I got a pair of shoes, I remember my son, who's 8 now, he was either 6 or 7.
Mhm.
That tells you how long it's been since I bought myself something.
Mm.
Dude, he stepped on my shoes. I had to remember where I was and who I was. I almost took out my 6-year-old son. I almost took him out.
What's wrong with you?
Almost took him down.
Yo, big facts. Big facts. Yo, to change gears again, as Rakai said earlier, this is gonna be a free for all. It's Friday. It's Friday. You know, people's sinuses is kind of messed up. You know, the weather's changed, the time has changed. This is really just gonna be a fun little kickback. This is an AMA, Ask Us Anything, an AUA, if that makes sense. First one that popped up. I just wanted to kind of get the ball rolling. Rebecca, thank you, Rebecca, for hopping in here. I said, hey, are you guys looking forward to the Doctor Who Christmas special? Before we answer that question, if you have any questions, just drop it in the chat. We will address it. We're going to try and address it maybe in sequence, right? To make sure everybody gets an opportunity. But for whatever reason, go ahead.
And hold on. Because, you know, as people will start coming into here, if you really, really need to get your comment heard and we address it, there is a super chat, you know what I'm saying? So you can go ahead and drop that right in there. And yes, and Centel will make sure that we see your question and we will definitely get it answered. So
yeah, there we go. So Rebecca, thank you. Are you guys looking forward to the Doctor Who Christmas special? The one for season 7, the one that we're about to, the one we just got done watching. Which context am I missing something, Rakai, regarding the context of that?
No, because so the Christmas special that came at the beginning of season 7 was the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. And that was a good episode.
Yeah.
But it started this kind of thing where all of these episodes, and so far, if you're in the Discord, again, go into the description to join the Discord, join Centel's Patreon so that you can watch with us. We've been watching live with our Discord family, with the Patreon family. We've watched up through episode 4 of season 7 so far. And I know that's not what's dropped on YouTube, but we've watched together as a community. We watched the first 4 and the Christmas episode so far.
Yeah.
If I'm taking this question, I'm thinking that this means the Christmas episode that comes after this season. And no, I'm not looking forward to watching that, only because a little bit of advanced knowledge, we know that this is the end of the Matt Smith of the 11th Doctor era. So I don't know if we don't know when the change will happen, when a regeneration and he becomes the new Doctor. I don't know any of that. So at this point, no, I'm not really looking forward to it. I really wasn't looking forward to, even though I knew that it was Matt Smith after David Tennant, I wasn't looking forward to it. David Tennant was that Doctor for me. And I can say that I've loved Matt Smith. But now that it's coming to an end, not really looking forward to it. Just
you know, they don't talk about in this Who culture, like,
what's that?
You're walking in to enjoy a brand new Doctor, but the time is short, and it almost feels like, you know, it feels like you're talking to somebody that's a terminal patient. You know, you kind of it can be a little depressing. It's like, damn, you about to die. And you know it's coming. You know, you kind of got to, you know, sit with the Doctor, look them in their eyes, and say, I appreciate you. But maybe that is what kind of like forces the appreciation of the character that much, because you know it's finite. You know it's not lasting. You know,
well, Rebecca put in there to clarify. She was talking about the Disney Who, the season 14, or I guess season 15 coming up. The
Oh,
Christmas special is coming up next month with
it
Chuti.
is. That is true.
And what I do know, it stars what's her name? Nicola something. The girl who's the whistle down in Bridgerton. She is in this.
Really?
Yes.
As a new companion?
No, she's in the Christmas special.
Huh.
She's the star of the Christmas special. So I don't have any context, but yes, Chuti, maybe still Ruby. I guess Ruby there. And I think her name's like Nicola Coughlin or something like that, but the redhead, whistle down, Penelope.
Oh, really?
Penelope is the star of the Christmas special. I guess that's in next month. Yeah.
Well, shoot, way to book that work. I ain't mad at that. Joy to the world.
I ain't mad at her.
Yeah, book that work, girl. Shoot. All right. You know, she showed me something. Oh, in Bridgerton.
She
I don't know.
showed us all something. She showed
she showed it. Yo, if y'all like watching Bridgerton, yo, don't let. I know there's a lot of dudes. Listen, and let me be the first to admit, I was one of those dudes that was like, Bridgerton. Why would I ever watch that? There's nothing about that says I should be watching that. And then Michael Clare, you know, she was like, yo, you can watch the show. I'm gonna knock your ass out. And I watched the show. And it was good. It was good.
You're gonna watch it with me, and you're gonna like it.
You're gonna like the show, yeah. And it was good. And I've been telling folks, you know, because I know it's a lot of dudes that feel some kind of way about those type of shows. But it is good. It's solid, and there is some stuff for the fellas. Thank you for that.
I was like, oh, this is Skinamax.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see. Next up, well, after that was Hugo Nilly said, hello from France. I discovered you very recently from the Arcane Reacts. Since then, I've been catching up on all the old reacts. Love it. Hey, thank you. Thank you for jumping into the catalog. Listen. If you are jumping into the catalog of the main channel, make sure that you hop over to Rakai's channel as well, because he has these incredible deep dives that go hand in hand with a lot of these episodes. So if you want to broaden your experience of the reaction channel, they go hand in hand. So make sure that you are subscribed to Rakai's channel while you go back into the depths of the catalogs, because we got some really good stuff in there. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Good old OG Triple O. You get the applause just because of who you are, Todd Stevens Burrows. We've been here since the beginning.
Day one.
Yeah, day one. Said a lot of YouTubers have become Whovians. What converted you to the show? You want to go first, or?
Yeah, and a lot of YouTubers have become Whovians because of us. Let's not get it twisted. They know what it is.
I mean, they know
what it is. But just like anything else, and I don't feel any kind of way about saying it. And yes, I see you, Addison. Let's see, EDN in the house. Yes, a lot of people. They know that Black people, we set the culture, we set the trends. We jumped on and became Whovians, and it's like, wait a minute, there's Black people are watching that show. Hold on, let me see what they're talking about. And then we know what it is. We know what it is, and it's okay. It's okay. So for us, Centel actually brought this to my attention. He heard about the new doctor was a young Black guy named Chuti Gatwa. And he's like, I've heard about this Doctor Who show for all this time, never watched it, didn't seem like it was my thing, but they got a Black dude. Maybe we'll check it out. And we watched the first Christmas special, the church at Ruby Road.
Yep.
And we was like, it was kind of silly, but we was like, that is actually pretty good. I didn't know what we was getting into. And then someone had suggested, maybe in the comments, hey, there's 60 plus years of lore. However, if you guys want to, you can get back into what they call New Who when it was rebooted in 2005 and watch that. And we was like, okay, we'll check it out. And we didn't expect anything out of it. We was like, all right, we'll check out a few episodes together, see what it's about. And here we are, 7 seasons in, like, oh,
Yeah.
This is actually pretty good telly. There's a lot of good telly on here.
I
Old
agree.
chap.
I agree with that completely. Yo, Chuti, like here's the thing, like some people don't really there's still been a bit of a disconnect about why inclusion matters. And if there wasn't Chuti, just keep it 100, I probably would have never watched Doctor Who. It took Chuti it took something, a familiar face for me to be like, well, let me just see what's going on over here. And then, Who culture got me. Chuti opened the door, and then how fun and just the explorative nature of just Who and Whovians themselves. We was introduced to a whole new culture, but it took Chuti to open the door. So that's why inclusion is very important. You have no idea the type of people that might dig what you're into if you just give them a chance and just show them that they're welcomed. And Whovians welcomed us with open arms. It was great.
And I will say this too about inclusionary culture. The thing is, even though Chuti is what got us in the door, because representation matters, and for the people who go off about how Hollywood, they start changing the gender, start changing the race of certain characters that you have, come to know and love. It makes sense to change the Doctor at some point to, a black dude. And I'm sure there's plenty of other races that they might change the Doctor to in a long time. And we know there's that very vocal, very loud minority who'll be like, not my Doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But the thing is, we also didn't get pissed off at every other Doctor who wasn't Chuti. Right now, Chuti's not my favorite. Chuti, I like Chuti.
Which is true. Which is
right
big
now,
facts, right? Yeah.
The 10th Doctor, David Tennant holds that crown, and Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, is coming for it. Like, it's important to be able to see yourself in these spaces. And I think people forget how much that is, if anything, people, that every hero, every villain, every character in the story cannot be a, from what is it the people say, cis hetero white male.
Yeah.
Can't be that.
Not every character, like.
Yeah. I remember watching stuff with my grandfather, and my grandfather, he loved Westerns. Love Westerns. And I was so confused, and I'd be like, Granddad, that's not an actual Native American. Why is that white man playing a Native American? I was so confused. White man playing the Native Americans, white man playing Mexicans, white men playing black people. I was like, what the hell is going on? White men playing Asian people. What am I watching? What is this? It's like, and it makes a difference when you can see people that look like you.
It does. And I know we've said this a million times before. That's where we were like big proponents too of just, watching content from overseas too. Not even just stuff that's based in like the tier 1 markets, which are, Europe, North America, Australia, New Zealand. I think those are the tier 1s. If you can get out of that segment and take a look at storytelling from other countries, you'll be surprised. You'll be pleasantly surprised of how great some of these characters are, how some of the stories are. Branch out and dip your toes and to see what other people are doing.
I know that
something new.
Yeah, I know that Bollywood, that India has been doing it forever, but I don't think anyone is doing it better than South Korea right now. I think South Korea is the tip of the spear. I think they are turning out some of the best content out there. It's just not tier 1 stuff, but I think South Korea has been doing phenomenal stuff. That movie that came out, didn't it win an Oscar with Parasite?
Parasite, yeah. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Absolutely.
They're doing a lot of. They're doing so much stuff. And then not only that, Bollywood is coming back. Their culture, the way that they make movies has changed a bit, and they're making some better stuff. I watched a movie that was about 3 days long called RRR, last year. That movie lasted for like 6 days. I took 3 vacations and came back. The movie was still on. Like, it was long. Wow. Like, jeez.
Yo, bring back intermissions, right? Like, back in the day, back in the day, like ask your grandma and grandpa, like they used to have intermissions in films, you know, because the guy had in old school cinema, they had to change the reel and they would take like these breaks while the projectionist would change the reel to have these intermissions. Some of these movies, we need to bring that back. Bring intermissions back.
RRR would have had about 4 intermissions. Like, dude, that movie was long, dude. But it was good. It was a good long movie. And quiet as kept, Nollywood, the Nigerian movie market, is doing big things. I think they have taken over Tubi. I think everything on Tubi might be Nigerian or hood movies.
Listen, I think Tubi catches some bad. I think Tubi catches bad smoke. I am one of the main people that clowns Tubi. Let me be clear, because it's some craziness on Tubi. I'll just keep it a buck. But every now and then, I say 1 out of every 100 projects on Tubi, it's a gem. There are some gems on there. And Tubi is what Netflix used to be 15, 20 years ago. Back when, you know, if you couldn't get big time distribution, you can get a Netflix deal and, you know, maybe see something, get your stuff kind of shown. And I feel like it's kind of like a hat tip to the old school way cinema or used to be and could be, and is giving people in other countries, other demographics, other everything an opportunity for their voice to shine. So sometimes, you know, you kind of got to do some, what is it called, slumming it. You got to slum it with some of these streaming services and head in them dark, raunchy corners of Tubi, and you'll see some stuff.
To be fair, Tubi does have some gems. But they got some of the stuff that is why it gets the criticism it gets. Like I've seen some scenes. I was like, clearly the budget for this was 3 packs of Budweiser and you know, and 3 half-eaten Krispy Kreme donuts or something. Like,
but it's the last. I think it's the last big Wild West as far as streaming services go. I mean, YouTube will always be you know the Wild West, but as far as streaming services go, Freevee is rounding in second though. Tubi and Freevee.
But Freevee's gone though, right?
Is it? They did away with Freevee?
I think so. I think they got away with it because Freevee was like part of Paramount or something, like the restructuring of these big companies. Freevee was owned by one of them. I think Freevee's gone. Freevee had some good stuff on it. Man, Freevee had a show on it that was so good they canceled it after 1 season. I was like, that was wrong. They had this show called Primo that was so damn good. Yeah, Primo was excellent. If you can find it, go watch Primo and you'll be like, that show was great. Why did they cancel it? It didn't make any sense. Yeah.
Oh, we got 2 legends that hopped in the chat. We got Geekly Goods in here and Everyday Negroes. By all means, you know, go and support.
Hold on. Let me do this. Let me do this.
Go for it.
Because I have so much respect for both of these brothers, and I don't even really know them like that. I've got a chance to chop it up with both of them through Centel, but I do want to give congratulations. If y'all don't know, friends of what we do, friends of the, you know, our growing family, our growing community on the internet. Geekly Good, Leo, just crossed 10,000 subscribers. Listen. One day, sir, I shall get there.
Yes.
One day.
We get you there, baby.
I'm working. And that's my goal, to get up to Leo. But Centel's goal right now is Addison and Everyday Negroes, EDN, cross the 100,000 subscribers mark.
Yo, for real, that's still Addison, Everyday Negroes. Yeah, if y'all haven't subscribed, head on over there. Come back now. Listen, look, I'm pushing Geekly Goods and I'm pushing Everyday Negroes, but come back is what I'm trying to say. So go on over there, hit the subscription button, but come back.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, just saying, like, if any of y'all who are subscribers only to Geekly Goods or Everyday Negroes, if you should find a little bit of extra time in your day to come holler at your boy, come on through.
Yo, brothers absolutely deserve that love. Let me say,
it's one of those things, like if you take an average of the 5 people in your circle, then you get to actually understand and see where you're going. And you know what I'm saying? So we are fortunate to have people like that in our circle who are out here doing big things. And a fairly new content creator like myself, I have goals to shoot for. I'm trying to get to where these brothers are getting. I would love to do this all day, every day, with a limit, but all day, every day. I'm old. I can't do this all day, every day. I mean, y'all be watching me take naps and shit.
He said, why? Super chat. I was taking a super nap. Look, shout out to
like every time he burps and farts, hit the thing.
hit the ding button. Oh yeah, we are still addressing questions, everybody. There's another one that came up real quick. Alice Simpkins said, "Would you ever give any Doctor Who audio dramas a listen? A Big Finish has a huge range." There's actually we do. The answer to that is yes, but we actually have a member within the community that's actually doing that.
Let's just let him talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. What's going to bring him in then?
Okay. Yes, we have a couple of our wonderful Discord and Patreon members in here, so we're going to bring to the stage Frank and Sherelle.
Oh, look! We have somebody else. We got a third one that just popped in here too.
Oh yes, one of my favorites. The local alien.
The local aliens in the house.
The local alien. So now you were saying about the audio dramas, Centel.
Yeah, so Alex Simpkin in the chat had said, would you ever give any Doctor Who audio dramas a listen? As Big Finish has a huge range. And one of our members of the community, Frank, is actually doing just that. Frank, did you want to speak on behalf of some of the audio dramas that you bring to the Discord? Oh, he might have stepped away. Wow.
No, sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
Every time I'm available, I'll put an audio drama on my own accord. But if ever you don't see me putting one on or whatever, hit me up and I'll throw one on anyways. Okay. I got all of them. I'm up to date on that.
See, so hey, the community speaks. So if you are interested in some of the Who audio dramas, there is a space on the Discord. There's a link in the description that you can get to it. It's free. You don't have to worry about paying for anything. And the conversations is always something going on in the Discord. Let me see. This was one for the general chat real quick. Giant who said, I love your actions. Just wondering if you've ever watched any of the films penned by Alan Clark, such as Scum, starring Roy Winston, or Made in Britain, starring Tim Roth. I know who Tim Roth is, but all the other names of those projects are kind of foreign to me. Are any of you familiar with these projects?
I am not. I don't know anything about Alan Clark. Never heard of either of these movies. I do know who Ray Winstone is. He's been in a whole bunch of movies. And the first one, for whatever reason, the first one that popped to mind was he was in Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystals. Whatever. He was like his little adventure buddy. He's been in a whole bunch. Ray Winstone's been in a whole bunch of movies. So he's actually a very good actor. He usually plays a bad guy. And Tim Roth, of course. Tim Roth's been in so much. But I don't know anything about either of these. Okay.
Let me see. I'm kind of going through some of these. Let me
Crystal Skull. Yeah, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I can't think of the name because it was terrible. So
while I'm looking for the next one, Sherelle, local alien, Frank, what's going on with y'all this weekend? Anything that you could bring to the conversation regarding let's just talk about content just in general for this weekend. What you watching, what you looking forward to. We talked briefly about the big fight that's about to happen between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. That seems to be the main thing that a lot of folks are talking about on socials. Anything outside of that that's blowing y'all's hair back?
Not especially, but I did see in my Google feed earlier that there's that new Sherlock show coming out next year, Watson.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. It's got a brother as Watson, right?
Morris Chestnut.
Morris Chestnut. One of the
Yes,
most
Morris
handsome
Chestnut.
men on the planet ran it in the late 90s. I got so sick of hearing about Morris Chestnut. He's so dreamy. But the brother,
Yeah.
Oh, is he your type, Centel?
I'm a hater. But I'm just gonna let the brother working though. Listen. There is something to that. Look, you got to keep in mind, culturally speaking, dark-skinned brothers, nobody was really checking for dark-skinned brothers in the 80s, late 80s, up until, this hallowed man, Wesley Snipes. The gospel of Wesley Snipes changed it for dark-skinned brothers everywhere. We finally got our recognition. And then you know how sometimes there's like the pendulum will swing a little too far, right? The too far was Morris Chestnut. It's like it candy coated dark skinned brothers. You know, it wasn't like the grizzled kind of dangerous Wesley Snipes kind of thing, but you know, it did kind of like bring us into the light. So I appreciate Morris Chestnut. But nobody compared to my man Wesley.
This is hilarious.
Look, yeah. What you got to say on that, Rakai?
None. I'm proudly light skinned. Yes, I understand that I am from the the transparent side of the equation. I get it. I'm light skinned. I'm yellow. I'm not like Drake high yellow, but I get it. And listen, we are what we are. I'm good with me. So
Oh, brother. No, I say all that in jest.
I did love everything that Wesley Snipes. He was Demolition Man. He was Passenger 57. Listen, you always bet on black. Like, and not only that, he was Blade. I don't care what nobody say. He saved Marvel. Don't care what nobody say. Save Marvel.
Respect the Snipes.
Right. Fletcher, I have seen the first 2 seasons of From. I know the 3rd season is still up in the air of whether they'll renew that or not. Only issue is it's okay. It's something to watch. That's all I'll say about that, really.
So give us the gist. What is From about for those that don't know?
It's so think of Lost and Walking Dead. Imagine if somebody wanted to do a show like that, but they didn't have the confidence that it was going to last for like 12 seasons. So they do a weird mix of trying to put a bunch of mysteries out there to hope you'll be interested enough to keep watching, but at the same time, they don't give you answers. And so you end up 2 seasons with a bunch of questions and still no answers. And they just keep piling things on. And then you're like, do I even want a 3rd season?
So it's just a never-ending mystery box.
It's like you get an answer to something, but then they're like, oh, that's not even the big thing. Now there's this huge thing that makes it look like this thing doesn't even matter. It's like, bro, why are you acting like this is season 6? It's season 2. We don't need all of this right now. Like, just, it's a weird mix of them trying to rush everything, but at the same time trying to withhold answers until they figure out how to explain it.
Wow, that was the greatest explanation of a show ever.
I'm here to support Harold Perrineau. I think Harold something. I forgot his name. He was Mercutio in the Romeo and Juliet movie, and he was in one of the Matrix movies. One of the brothers in the Matrix movies. So yeah, I was just happy. I was like, dang, this brother's still working. All right, and you the lead. Shoot, all right, way to round of applause to the brother's agent because he kind of just disappeared. But he's the lead.
Yeah, you haven't really seen him anything since what, the Best Man movies.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot he was in that too. Yeah,
he's been in a lot of stuff. He was Mercutio, but I remember him as being the pilot of the Nebuchadnezzar in the Matrix Reloaded, the second Matrix movie.
That's true.
J-Man is asking if you guys have seen the UK sci-fi show Misfits.
I've heard about it, and I've heard people go on and on. Especially when we started watching Supercell, people were really like, "Yo, if you like Supercell, maybe you should check out Misfits." Right?
I love Misfits.
Okay. Give me, Frank. Could you tell us what Misfits is about? What's that genre?
I haven't seen it in a while, so it's gonna be rusty knowledge. It's like a grounded kind of superhero-ish delinquents that gain powers.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm mad at that.
Think Heroes, but with edgy British teenagers,
I love heroes. Old American
That
heroes.
sounds
So
and
good.
without like an overarching plot. Really, they're just kind of like getting
Dealing
on
with
each
it.
other's nerves.
Yeah.
okay.
There's-
Is it like based off of a comic or something, or a graphic novel, or is it just his own thing?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I
thing-
never finished it because some of the cast changed, and so it was weird, like readjusting to the new people.
Is it still on?
No,
No,
Oh.
it was on from 09 to 13.
Here's an interesting question. That's a good way to start an interesting conversation. How y'all feel about Denzel being in Black Panther 3?
I mean,
I'll kick it off.
I love it, but
I think it's Denzel's money grab. He deserves Marvel money. Like, if anybody deserves Marvel money, it's Denzel. And I also think, and this is just my own personal belief, I think Wakanda Forever it didn't get a fair chance with the choices that was made after the death of Chadwick. And to me, I feel it suffered. So if there's a way to kind of like kickstart back up through Black Panther franchise again, starting with Denzel is a very good look in the right direction for it.
yes, I don't know. Like it's one of those strange things because for us, and I would say the African American community, that has absolutely been a draw to have us come back out to theaters next weekend and see Gladiator 2. It's got Denzel in it. I gotta go check it out. I might not have been interested in where they were going to try to go with this story. Like, that movie's done. It's done. It ain't no more Maximus. It's done. But it's got Denzel in it. And because we have respect for Denzel, like, well, he doesn't just pick projects or just throw away projects. There's got to be some quality to it. If Denzel's in it, it's worth checking out. With the Black Panther franchise, I really think that after the death of Chadwick Boseman, they went back and rewrote the entire story to a story that has been heavily panned by a lot of people, but especially in the African American community. Once they said they were no longer going to recast the Black Panther, we've had 75 Supermans, 19, 130 different Batmans. We've had 7 different Spider-Mans. You recast everybody, but once we get the African Americans, Black people, people of color worldwide, have a superhero that befits us, was beloved, that was one of the most successful movies in all of MCU. Once we have one, he did one, and it was done. And there's like, yep, we're not recasting that. We don't want to, we don't. This is
frustrating.
And I understand it to a point for respect for the character. It's like, we don't want to sully the legacy that he did with that character. However, it is a character. He played a character. It was not like we trying to recast somebody to play him in real life. It is a character. And after a period, I think they should have said, yes, we're going to recast him, but not right now. We're going to go forward with this story in this way. But then we will eventually recast it and make it some kind of way. But it's just one of those things. I don't think that they had to put his actual death into the story of Wakanda Forever. I don't. I don't know. There's been several people that they've suggested could be him. Even the talk is about not Idris.
What's his name from Alex Cross? The dude that's about to do Alex Cross.
So Aldous Hodge?
No,
no, I heard Damson Idris.
Damson Idris. That could be interesting. I like Damson.
Yeah, from Snowfall could be the new T'Challa. And maybe where they were trying to say that he is who was introduced in Wakanda Forever as T'Challa's son, because I understand that after the next couple movies that they're going to do, they put a pause just recently. They put a pause on everything on MCU's slate to let Spider-Man 4 and something else rock, just so they can be done with the whole multiverse, and they're going to do like the Secret Wars, and everything's going to pick up after Secret Wars or the Doomsday Avengers movies or for the Russos or whatever. Everything's going to pick up after that. So there's going to be a time jump. It'd be possible to bring back in someone like Damson as this is the new Black Panther, whatever his name will be. T'Challa Jr. or something. I don't know.
How y'all feeling, Sherelle? Our local alien Frank.
Okay, I'm gonna go see anything Denzel is in. I'm just saying.
Facts.
However, with the Black Panther 3, I'm more. Denzel has a very distinctive voice and a very distinctive way that he speaks, and so I'm wondering if they're gonna have him do an accent and if that would be believable for me. That's the only thing that I'm like, because I haven't really seen him do, like an accent that wasn't New York or just American to like I just haven't seen it. It's not that I don't think he can do it. It's just I've never, like I'm used to hearing that distinctive Denzel cadence and that distinctive Denzel voice. So it's like, are you gonna be able to do this accent to where it doesn't sound crazy? So that's my only but I do agree with the whole why first of all, Chadwick Boseman was an actor's actor. Like he was for other actors. He helped a lot of people. Like that's the thing that spread about him even before he got, we knew he was sick. Everybody said he was so awesome. He would be perfectly fine with them recasting. Like, you know what I mean? Like he wouldn't have had a problem, say something had happened to him, where he didn't pass away, but he couldn't do the role anymore. He would have been like, get somebody else. It's fine. Black people love this, So it was just weird to me.
You know what? Listen, the Denzel, as much as I love him, Denzel is probably my top 2 favorite Black actors of all time. But if I'm being real with myself, Denzel is Denzel in pretty much every movie. Like he kind of plays himself. He's just angrier, sadder, more excited, different versions of who his personality kind of is. And I think you bring up something that is very valid. I don't know how I feel about Denzel doing an accent. I mean, the only one that comes to mind is when he did Glory and he was telling Morgan Freeman, is you old man or old woman? Because eyes forgets. I don't know if that's going to translate right in Wakanda. So you do bring up something that I can see is a bit of a valid concern. But, they have
Denzel coaches and he might be really great at it. He did start in theater. So he, that might be a thing that he can already do. He's just never had, a movie role where we saw it. Mm-hmm. But it's just that's that little pause for me where it's like, ooh, is that going to work? Or is it going to be like, Channing Tatum in as
Gambit?
Yes, I had just
to try to make a name for himself.
It's entertaining, but at the same time, you're like, oh god, it makes you cringe at the same time as it makes you laugh. So it's
I love that terrible accent.
No, that's what I'm saying. But it's good, but it's still cringy. Like you definitely notice every time he opens his mouth.
Well, the thing about it is, I watched an interview with Trevor Noah, and he was talking about Ryan Coogler hit him up when he went to South Africa to view locations and to get a feel on the culture and the language, because the Xhosa language is what he used as the backdrop for Wakanda. And that's the thing. I mean, Chadwick Boseman is not from South Africa, but he was able to handle it. And I think if it's not just a money grab and Denzel takes it seriously, he could train with dialect coaches to learn and, speak the, at least his lines, in the dialect and speak it in Xhosa. But the problem is, I think Denzel goes off script a lot. You know what I'm saying? Nobody says shit to him because he's Denzel.
He's Denzel. We still tell Denzel,
nobody says something to him. So, if that's not, if you don't have that dialed all the way in, he'll deliver all these lines great in that dialect and be like, damn, he sounded like he was from South Africa.
Right.
And next thing you know, he'll deliver some ad libs. He'll be like, wait, when the hell did he go to Brooklyn? Like, he's from Harlem now. Like, this is like, or
That's
he could
one of
be
the
like
things
somebody said. H.T. Teddy said that he could be like Killmonger, that he's a character that was raised outside of Wakanda. Like, we have no idea who he would even be playing. So.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so many of them had, it's such a thick accent for most of them, which and most of the actors, like I said, most of the actors pull it off wonderfully because
Angela Bassett.
She can do anything. I don't care. Like, I want
goddess.
everything
That's
she's
why she does
in. I
everything.
want to watch.
Facts.
Like, she can do everything. So, like,
Yes. Has she not given enough?
I still feel bad that she didn't get that Oscar. Golly, what a well, we ain't gonna talk about that. Hey, local alien, how you feeling about Denzel? I know you're of a little bit of a newer generation with a different outlook on some of these projects. Is he too long in the tooth to bring back for Black Panther 3, or is this even something that your generation would even be interested in?
Why you keep saying my generation? Like, I don't even fit in with people my age. Like when I think of Denzel Washington, my first thought is the movie the name escapes me, but where his son had a heart that was 3
John
times
Q?
bigger.
John Q.
Yeah, that's my
Good
first
movie.
thought.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen any of the Black Panther movies.
Okay. Let's see. How about you, Frank?
As long as the story's good, that's all I care about. But I do love Denzel.
That part. At this point, all we need, what Centel and I say all the time, give me a great story, give me a great villain, and you have the makings of something. If you can't deliver one or both of those things, I mean, because even if you look at especially Marvel, where they've been hurting is that the villains weren't believable. You had a great villain in Loki, but he was so popular, he's like, you know what? We got to flip him and make him a face now. He's got to be one of the good guys. So now he's more anti-hero than villain. No, he was a great villain.
Yeah.
And you mess it up. We had Thanos, but that, had to come to an end or whatever. They haven't had a good villain since. As a matter of fact, one of the best villains was one of the least seen villains, Mr. Purple, David Tennant, of course.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He was one of the best villains in all of MCU, and he was languished to a Jessica Jones Netflix Marvel show that nobody watched.
And that's how I actually got introduced to David Tennant, was through that. That was my first thing I ever seen of him. Was him being the Purple Man.
That was the first thing that I remembered of him. I had seen him in other stuff before, but it's once I saw him in that role, I was like, damn, this dude is amazing. And then I was watching other stuff, and I was like, oh shit, that was the same dude. Oh damn, I didn't remember him in other roles until I saw him in that.
Yeah. Just a random shout out, because you say this name, you got to shout it out. This is Jay Tennant said, Sidney Poitier is my favorite Black actor. No, nobody will ever disrespect Sidney. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, he's great too.
Yeah, never. Call me Mr. Tibbs. That brother boy. Here's a real thing that, like, my first dog as a little kid, my mom and dad was obsessed with In the Heat of the Night. And for obvious reasons. And our first dog, we had a little Scottish terrier, and his name was Mr. Tibbs.
Redson brings up a good point, and I forgot this.
Oh, that was his first big breakout movie role, wasn't it?
But wasn't that in South Africa, like during apartheid, wasn't it?
It was.
He had an accent in that,
Stephen
right?
Biko, is that who he was playing? I forgot. God, it's been so long. Yeah,
but
I think
he
that
had
was
an
like his
accent in
first
that.
big one.
Did he have an accent in that?
I'd hope so.
I've heard of that movie, so it might have been before my time.
Yeah, I know about it, but I'd never watched it.
Yeah, I think he played Steve Biko. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he plays Steve Biko.
Mm-hmm.
That came out in 1987.
Yeah, I heard it's amazing. I heard it's a great movie.
I wasn't even one.
Yeah,
it was before my time.
My first Denzel was He Got Game.
Ah, that's a good.
Ooh.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Denzel playing Denzel.
And you know what? And that's a hard one too. If that's your first Denzel, because that's not only just a Denzel, that is a Spike Lee joint,
Spike
and
Lee joint.
that's a
Yeah.
different kind of movie. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a different kind of. It's a different kind of a Black American experience.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
So
And that's like prime Spike too.
Mhm.
Spike was in like that was like just before he did Malcolm X. I think if I remember right. I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Malcolm X, another Spike Lee joint, but because
Mm-hmm.
it stayed close to the story of Malcolm X was fantastic. But I tell you another Denzel Spike Lee joint that I absolutely love, Inside Man.
Yeah. Yeah. That was when Spike took the money though. And I wasn't mad at that. It was on the first time he didn't have to beg for money. The studio actually gave him a big check and it showed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here's a sleeper one too. Did you ever see 13th Hour? With Spike and shoot.
Does that sound familiar?
I think it's what it was called. Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Damn.
No.
It was the guy that was in Rounders and he played the Hulk and he was I forgot.
Edward Norton?
Edward Norton. Yeah. Spike Lee, Ed Norton.
Oh, is that the one where he was on his way to jail, right? He was on his
Yeah,
way to
yeah. One
prison?
day left. No, the 25th hour. That's what it
25th
was.
hour.
The 25th hour, not 13th hour. 25th hour.
Yeah, he was on his way to prison. He had like, that time to get his affairs in order for you.
Yeah, good old school Edward Norton and Spike flexing.
Which that would have been interesting because I've heard that Edward Norton is notoriously difficult to work with.
Well, it's the task of working with a brilliant mind, right? There's some people that are just kind of so far out there they're difficult to work with. Like,
Mhm.
Oh my God, we just got done watching one of his movies. Oh shit, I can't. My brain is just off today. So I can believe that. I can certainly believe that. What did you think about Ed Norton's when he played the
Hulk?
No, the one that put him on the map when he was a white supremacist and he made
American History X.
American History X.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Wow, he knocked
Yeah.
that joint clear out the park, man.
Yeah, that movie,
Yeah.
him and when his little brother Edward Furlong,
Yeah.
the little boy who was John Connor in Terminator 2, right?
Yes.
Little
Yeah,
brother?
that was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Edward Norton was scary in that damn role.
Yeah.
Like he was amazing in that role. Like I don't even want to like that movie. I watched it one time and one time ever. I can't turn it back on. Like when he put dude's head on the curb, I
Made him
can't.
Oh,
that-
my-
About the curb. Oh, I didn't even
Oh.
know what a curb stomp was.
Yeah,
Oh,
my generation started
movie.
using that as a regular phrase.
Yeah.
Curb stomped his ass.
Oh,
oh,
brother brought
Yeah.
it though. I mean, Ed brought it.
mm-hmm. You see, Red saying so she can't get into Edward Norton. She can't even watch the Hulk because of him.
Just don't like him. I can see how he could be an acquired taste though, but his role in Rounders, boy, was another brilliant role. He's a person you just love to hate. Ed Norton has a very punchable face.
He does.
you just want to hit him in the mouth. And then to even add to that, his role in Fight Club, which I think is what put him into superstardom.
He hit himself
Yeah.
in the mouth on that.
Yeah, he
one.
hit himself. I was the joke I was just about to say. He literally punched himself in the face. He's so punchable.
and the crazy thing is, you know what I'm saying, because he gets a lot of kudos for his acting, and I'm talking about Brad Pitt, but Edward Norton made that movie. Like if you don't know the twist of the movie, if you don't know the twist, Edward Norton made that movie way past believable. Like, it's almost like it was a kind of movie that was like The Sixth Sense in a way. M. Night Shyamalan's greatest achievement thus far. That once you find out the twist, you go back and watch it like, damn, I missed every red flag, every sign. I should have saw it. Like there's some stuff I just saw within the past days that show a few things that Edward Norton did on set that sold the fact that where you don't know the twist. Is like, damn, I never even noticed that before. Like it was.
Yeah, Fight Club is one of those movies now.
You know the first rule of Fight Club.
Talk about it. I hate that. I'm gonna say something that may be a little controversial. Like Fight Club has been getting dragged for like the past decade because it's considered to be, I guess overly masculine or whatever, or it's
like toxic masculinity.
Yeah, it's got the toxic masculinity that's going on. And I'm like, if that is true, if it's true or if it's not, you should still watch it just because it's really just good cinema. Like great characters, amazing story, dope twists. And I hate that it's kind of like been shitted on, over the past like decade. And I'm like, why? That movie is too good.
Should be the poster boy for the need for mental health professionals for therapy.
They have a support group in that movie for men that lost their manhood. So,
Dingus said something I think is pretty true. No, it's not so much Fight Club; it's the fact that most young males misinterpret the message. I can see that. But still, if you haven't watched, you should watch it for yourself and then come up with your own conclusion of what you think of it. It's just really good cinema, though.
Which actually is extremely believable because what I'm saying, you talk about people of an older generation. Yeah. That's a David Fincher film, right?
Yeah. Oh yes, Fincher at his best. I think it's his best movie.
Yeah, I think so too. So you're talking about people of an older generation, and they make a movie like this that has so many layers to it, but they don't get heavy-handed. Where explaining to you, you have to take your own interpretation, and if you're moderately clever, you'll get what we were trying to say. And I think that certain people, and I don't know the classes, but millennials, your generation, whatever, see the movie and have a completely different take of it. They don't understand a lot of the context and a lot of things are there, and they don't see the layers for what they are. They was like, okay, we peel back this layer. We peel back this layer. Oh, this is what the movie is. It's like you peel back 2 of the 12 layers.
Like, there's a lot more to it than just this.
You missed it. And it's kind of like and I only say that because that whole discussion they had the year before, where they're talking about RDJ in Tropic Thunder. It was like, y'all missed.
They missed the
everything.
point.
I mean,
they missed the point.
Yeah, it's like, and all the clips, but they got that from watching TikTok, and it's like, well, all the clips, and those claps, they are those TikTok clips. They also didn't show where Brandon T. Jackson's in the movie and calls out movie, in the scene, everything y'all talking about, and that's how y'all are making all these assumptions, and you're making all these general rationalizations from something where you got 5 seconds of a clip that you should have actually got the whole 60 seconds, then you wouldn't know what the hell you're talking about.
I just had to post this comment here just because it made me laugh. Solitary Man in Black said, I can imagine Denzel playing a character similar to Dr. Umar Johnson. You bring out the belt and start smacking that belt. That would be great. Dr. Umar Johnson definitely needs his own movie.
This right here is a real thing. The younger generation thinks horror means jump scares. They absolutely do. That's what my kids think. My kids, they love going to horror movies, and they'll go see Terrifier 3 and all these other things. And I'll be like, how was the movie? And I'll be like, it wasn't scary at all. There was only like 2 jump scares. It wasn't scary at all. They'd be like, it's gory. It wasn't scary. I was like, y'all don't know real horror. Y'all don't know real horror. Like a lot of stuff is made way back in the day, even before I was a youngin'. They made horror movies.
Still holds up.
And then the 80s switched to slasher movies, and I don't know what we have now.
Well, I mean, that was the beauty of Jaws. Like, it really wasn't. I mean, there were some jump scares per se, but the thing that was the most terrifying about the shark was that you couldn't see it. It was just beneath the surface. It made an entire generation scared to even go into the water. It didn't sell itself on just blood and gore. Like, if you watch it now, it's really tame. And by today's standards, if you were to go back and watch Jaws. But the idea and the principle behind the fear, you know, using the music, the dun, 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 like that really brought a whole different kind of feeling and emotion to what it meant to be scared in cinema. That doesn't necessarily, you know, hold true as much as it did in the past. That's what made Hitchcock so dope. Like, he didn't have to rely on gimmicks to make things scary. Whereas like Psycho, the original Psycho, it's a different kind of terror. It's not like somebody jumping out of a thing and scaring. And don't get me wrong, like the knife part is pivotal, but that's not the thing that made Psycho as terrifying for its time.
Well, the thing about you have to remember, Jaws was what was Jaws, 77, 78?
Yeah, somewhere around in there, yeah.
Jaws was so pivotal as far as everything you just said about the type of horror that was the movie Jaws. It forever changed the landscape. It changed the vacation industry in America. That movie shut down all beaches in America. Nobody went to any beach. That was the worst. That was outside the pandemic. That was the worst season for vacations and beaches in the history of America, because the summer when Jaws came out shut down every beach in America. No one went to the beach because Jaws was in them waters. You know, here's the thing that's crazy, and this is what I remember. I was a little kid, and you know I don't do horror movies. Fascinated by horror movies. Don't watch them though. The original It movie came out in 1980. Tim Curry is Pennywise. Do you know that changed recreation? It changed circuses forever. No one, up until It came out, clowns were just, you know, clowns. It came out, Pennywise in that movie, almost put circuses out of business overnight. Because they had to pivot. They had to pull back on clowns, and they had to pull, was it 1990? Maybe it was 1990. Yeah. It was
somewhere around there. Yeah, I think the book came out way earlier, but you're talking about the series.
Yeah.
The series when it came out. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the movie came out in 1990. Is that right? Yes.
Yeah, 1990.
Yeah, 1990.
Yeah, it was a miniseries. It was a miniseries, yeah.
Yeah. Shut down circuses almost overnight. They had to pivot, and they couldn't figure out what to do with clowns. Because I remember, like, clowns. There was a clowns in a James Bond movie. I want to say it was Octopussy, which just nowadays sounds like the craziest title in the world. It's like that's something on that one channel that ends with a hub. Like, it's like, this is where you find this. It's like, yeah. Feature the main character is the Deep or something from the boys. Like, a different type of. But there was a couple of twin clowns who were, you know, assassins or whatever in that movie, and it's just one of those things you don't think about. It was clowns and all the little circuses. It almost shut down circuses. Just the same, had the same effect as Jaws did. It changed the way that as a viewing society, how we saw something that was culturally accepted, until one movie made us forever change the way we saw that thing. And that's crazy. That's a crazy effect to have as a movie, or, you know, series or whatever.
Context is key, man. I think we just got done watching. Well, you just got done watching with us the Peele movie, Get Out, and as crazy as what's going on in that movie with some of the crazy stuff that's going on, to me and a lot of folks, the scariest moment and the oh my God moment was at the very end. You know, when the police show up. When the cop car shows up, that hit way more home than any other the craziness that we just got done watching, spend an hour and a half watching. When that cop car showed up, it's like,
It's like, they're gonna kill that brother. He ain't gonna make it
damn,
out.
right? But
He
context,
almost made
you
it.
know, yeah, it's context. Yeah, it put people on their ass. That's funny.
It absolutely did. And so I think because H.T. Teddy said something about existential horror.
Mm.
Like what is that exactly? What is existential horror?
That sounds like a local alien question.
It would be stuff like The Thing, or like in Doctor Who, Waters of Mars, or Midnight. It's psychological horror where you're like,
Okay.
oh, is it this behind me, or could it really be one of us? Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Mm. The Thing.
Yeah,
That's
she said
the
the
first
thing.
thing I said.
Yeah, she said the thing. So and you absolutely right. Like what was that? Was that 1980? John Carpenter's The Thing with Kurt Russell?
Yeah, that was his best one.
It was like 1982, something like that.
Yep, 82.
Okay. Oh, she's good. I knew it was around there. So I did watch that one. I didn't know that it was a horror movie before I watched it. And I was a very young guy. It's one of those things. Is like, yep, never again. And y'all done got enough for tricking me. I ain't know. Didn't know, and I was like, never again. That to me, that's horror. That is horror, and actually, great references. Sophie, with the Water of Mars, Doctor Who, and Midnight, some of those, your 73 yards and things like that, with the existential, because Get Out does have some elements of that in a way. The psychological horror, to me, that's far better than gory, and the slasher fix, and anything with jump scares or whatever. I don't like jump scares, but jump scares get your ass beat up if you're sitting close to me.
I think the one movie that really like had me physically ill was it was a horror called The Descent, and it was about these women.
I've heard about that.
They were splunkers, and they went into this cave. And I don't do well with claustrophobia. There's two things: claustrophobia and water. And it deals with both of them. I can't move, and the water's rising, and then there's this creature that's trying to get me. I'm like, I was literally physically sick in the theater watching. That's the only one where I almost had to like really walk out of this.
They'd have put me out of a theater watching some shit like that. Yeah. I'd have been in there hollering and nah.
Yeah.
Well, another the thing with psychological horror, also referred to as thriller a lot of times, is that because it isn't the overt, gonna make you jump kind of scare, you actually see it in things that aren't labeled as horror movies, such as the movie Contagion. Or any other sort of movie where it's like, oh, there's a virus, or oh, there's a spy among us. You'll see this a lot in TV shows where they'll have an episode or two with that sort of threat, because it's such a ingrained thing where you're like, can I trust the people around me? In real life, you have periods of history where people were turning in their neighbors and spying on each other and all of that. And so it's a very instinctual kind of psychological fear that we all have.
Is that why movies like the franchise The Purge is so successful? Because some of our deeper worries underneath the surface are kind of popping out with something like that.
Well, The Purge gained a lot of popularity because people romanticized it, and they were like, oh my God, what would you do during the purge? Oh, what would you get away with? Oh, we'd be able to do anything we couldn't normally do. So there was a romanticization with the purge in particular. A lot of people were making like parodies, and it's like with Squid Games, where people like the idea of something so radical, but in real life, of course, they wouldn't actually want this to happen. But when you're able to just play around with a fantasy like that, it makes it more enticing.
So there was a movie that came out in the mid 90s, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Was not pitched as a horror, but could have horror-ish kind of elements.
You
Arnold
talking about
Schwarzenegger, the
Game?
Running Man.
Yeah.
Right. And this was before the introduction of reality television. It was kind of foretelling. I don't know if y'all have seen it. It's about a guy, this talk show. It was a reality show where a guy has to survive getting from point A to point B in order to win his freedom, and these people are trying to kill him. It's pretty much
The
gist
Running
of
Man
it.
was 1987.
Yeah, 1987.
And the crazy thing is, and it featured back then, Richard Dawson was in it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I wonder, like, that movie was very popular then. This was before the age of reality television. I wonder, you know, they're remaking it too, right? I don't know if y'all don't knew that.
Right
I'm
now,
wondering
you know who's remaking it, right?
who. I know Glenn Powell's supposed to be in it. I do know that.
Glenn Powell's the star. Edgar Wright is doing it.
Get out of here. He's the director?
Yes.
Oh,
Edgar Wright is doing it.
That could be really good. I was just about to say, I wonder how that would work in today's, now that everything is so reality based, you know, and especially considering the political climate, that could be interesting as well.
Yeah,
Edgar
did you know
Wright
that
is doing
the Running Man was actually a Stephen King book?
Of course it is. Now that you say that, yeah, of course it is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's why it was so good.
Stephen King's in the movie. He's in the,
Is he?
You know, yeah. But it's one of those things too that you have a hard time seeing that because it stars Schwarzenegger, who, you know, was him and Stallone were at the top of the game back in the 80s. So that's why it was a big sell. But yeah, so it's being remade with Glenn Powell, Edgar Wright, and of course, those of you that don't know, Edgar Wright has done what, Centel?
Oh man, he did the Coronado trilogy.
Yes.
Shaun of the Dead, At World's End.
Yes. Hot
Fuzz, yeah.
he did Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
He did the original Ant-Man movie.
Editor.
He did, well, I guess he did half of that, and then he walked away from it, told him take his name off of it because he did not agree with the direction that Marvel was trying to take his movies. That nope, I'm good, I'm out.
So we're talking about like different types of horror, right? There was another one way back in the day that I think none of us really thought was a horror movie. Stephen King, I think, wrote it about some kids, and it's coming off the edge. I think it's coming out like right behind like Goonies, and Goonies loved it. A bunch of kids having an adventure together, and then this movie came out called Stand By Me, about these kids having another adventure. But instead of it being like pirates and booty, it's about a body. Yo, like it was one of those things where I think it had like a crazy cast too. Like one of the Phoenix brothers was in it. Let me see, I gotta look it up.
I think Kevin Bacon too.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon.
River Phoenix, that's what it was.
River Phoenix had Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman, Kiefer
Will
Sutherland.
Wheaton was in that too.
Jerry O'Connell. Like it was yeah. So I think a lot of folks signed up for it to be like a cool adventure movie, and then they got in the theater and it was like, this might be a little bit more than we intended on seeing. And it was like a horror coming of age story. I mean, does it really classify as horror, or is it more of a comedy? Like, how do you even define that? I mean, I don't know if y'all have seen it. You should see it. I think it probably still holds up because it's very character driven.
Well, to be honest, I've seen it. I don't remember it though. That was so long ago.
Yeah. I
don't remember it. I just remember the crazy cast and it was one of those movies that stood out as, you know, it was kind of like I mean, not the Goonies, but it was kind of like, what was the other one? The Sandlot. Like,
yeah.
Sandlot, you know, completely different tone and everything. But I mean, if you're talking about like quality of the cast and stuff and just an overall very good coming of age movie, two completely different premises. You know, Stand By Me is I'll do it the other way around. Boys in the Hood is the urban version of Stand By Me.
There's an interesting I could see that. Yeah. I mean, story does kind of kick off of seeing a dead body in a sense. Yeah.
Well, here's some food for thought.
Okay.
The Truman Show, for the
Ooh.
longest time, was, more viewed as just kind of like a comedy, kind of has some deeper tones, but rather, you just watch it, have kind of a good time, and then it went dead for a while. No one was talking about it. In
Mhm.
recent years, though,
Mhm.
people have been rediscovering it, and it's not so much for the comedy aspect, it's for the
Mm.
aspect of this is our world now. We're in the Truman Show. This is our reality.
Hmm.
And so it has become a psychological horror.
You're absolutely right. I'll tell you another thing, which is funny because you're right. At the time, they didn't see it that way because of the lead actor. Kind of
Yeah.
like The Running Man. You
Yeah.
didn't see the horror aspects of it because it featured Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Mhm.
you know. But you said the same thing about the Truman because you didn't see it because it featured, funny man Jim Carrey. He's
Yeah.
like, well, he doesn't do serious pieces. No, he did.
He did. Yeah.
And he had to come out and really show you later about how serious he was about dramatic acting. And
Yeah.
he's done some excellent dramatic things.
Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, which is great. That's a fantastic Jim Carrey movie, but it's
Uh,
not really funny. It's not really a comedy at all.
how about
But
Man on the Moon?
Man on the Moon, yeah,
Number 23. Like
yeah.
he's done some things.
Yeah,
However,
HD Teddy's right. It's always been kind of marketed as a comedy.
mhm. Here's another one that we is an existential horror that we are living right now. It was complete comedy movie. Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Featuring Luke Wilson. It's a complete comedy. And Luke Wilson and what's her name from she's on SNL all the time. Minnie Riperton's daughter.
I've only seen that movie once. Idiocracy. Only seen Maya Rudolph was in it.
Maya Rudolph. That's it.
Yeah.
Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Idiocracy. Yeah. You don't have to see it anymore. You're living it. We are living it right now.
Hope you believe in nightmares, because you're in one. I know. Pirates of the Caribbean. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Hey,
Someone is asking if you guys have seen The Menu.
Yes.
I've not.
Yes, I did. I was entertained. It's a little gross.
Not seen.
Yeah.
Is that the one with what's his name? It's
the
not
premise
Fiennes. The lead actor who was the chef in it, right? Is that The Menu?
James Trottis. No, that's not his name. What was that? Damn it. Hold on. It just came out.
Is that the one with? That's not the one with like Channing Tatum, is it?
No. It's the one with where they go to the desert island. They go to the island and
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes. Yeah, Ralph Fiennes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
When
knew
they
he
go
was in it.
to the desert island and a bunch of rich folks, and they have this exquisite meal, but there's a lot behind the scenes as to.
Okay, yeah, I knew Ray Fiennes and
stuff.
Anya Taylor-Joy. I knew it. I didn't know Nicholas Hoult was in it, but yeah. Okay.
We have another mention for The Platform as a psychological horror.
That was on
I heard
Netflix,
about
right?
that movie.
The first platform movie wasn't bad.
Yeah,
it's
I
kind
heard
of
there's
the
a
same
second
vein as
one,
like
right?
The Cube.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never seen it.
No, me neither.
Yeah, they made a part 2, didn't they?
It wasn't as good, but I did watch it.
That might have to be on the list, my guy. Let me write that down. That sounds like a good one. Sounds like it'll be fun. It's not scary, right? It's just more of like a mind melt, like The Cube, right?
It's more like it's about like prisoners that are stuck in this kind of prison system where there's 2 people to a floor, and there's a platform that brings down their daily food, and the people at the top will get first
They get
picks
the
or
full
whatever.
buffet, yeah.
Yeah, and then every so often they get switched floors, and it creates this sort of everyone for themselves type of vibe.
Ooh, you
So it's like
selling me.
a social experiment, like
Yeah.
that one prison experiment.
Yeah.
Mm.
For guy?
Huh?
Hey man, I've never seen it. You seen it?
No.
It
You
doesn't
know I
sound
ain't seen
scary.
it.
It's a social experiment. It's not scary.
Yeah, it
I mean,
sounds like
social experiments can be some of the scariest things in our reality.
you ain't lying.
You're not helping, alien. Trying to convince him.
He trying to catch me slipping.
Would
I
y'all
don't
be
know.
interested in us seeing something like that? I like stuff like that.
I don't know.
Okay.
So here's something else. Let's
Hey, look over there.
let's move right on.
Oh
So
my
what-
goodness.
So
Did I click that or somebody else click that?
no, I clicked that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's move right on.
Yeah, I love it.
So the conversation about River and the doctor's relationship being more Stockholm syndrome than actual romantic. What do you think about that?
I think there's something to it.
Well, let's start off by saying, of course, that's not using the actual definition of Stockholm. I think people more so mean that she was imprinted on. The way you guys pointed
Like
out
Twilight.
Rose and Mickey, or like in Father's Day, where he like went back in time and met her. You guys pointed out that could have imprinted upon her.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rose herself implied it in that episode.
Well, Stockholm is short and sweet, from my understanding, and please correct me. Is when you have an affinity towards your captor, right? It's short and sweet.
It goes deeper than that.
Right.
It's
Well,
like
I'm
an
saying it's the short and
obsessive.
sweet.
I mean, like you can have feelings for your captive and it not be Stockholm syndrome, is what I mean. But it's more of like a need, like you need them, like obsessively.
Well, then there is a bit of an argument for that because we just got done having an episode where they were about to live their normal life out of danger and be a part of normal society, but they had that need to kind of go back to the dangers of adventure. We're on a long enough timeline, they will be killed.
But the doctor didn't kidnap them.
He didn't kidnap.
He didn't
kidnap
her.
her either. You know what I mean? Like they made her that person. You know, like they took her for that purpose. So
yeah, if anything,
who
the
else
organization
in the world
kidnapped her?
They basically told her everything about him or whatever. So it's like if you in your brain grew up in the person that was the center of your attention all the time, who else are you gonna love?
Yeah, but the hard thing about that is
capture too, not a physical capture, but they're mentally captive.
But not only that, you know, they teach her to be obsessed with him, which I get that. But to say that she was groomed to love the doctor, she's groomed to be obsessed with him. He is her target. She is groomed to assassinate him. That's different than Stockholm. As a matter of fact, if that in that Let's Kill Hitler episode, the way that he maneuvers around her killing him, or even after she's successful, in a way from Melody Pond was this, but now you need to become River. That's two different things. So I don't know if I agree with that at all. Like that.
Well, and at that point, it was her choice. You know what I mean?
She wasn't into the doctor in Let's Kill Hitler.
Well,
yeah,
the moment
that's the point I'm making.
She fell in love with the doctor was when he was ready to die, and he could have saved himself, but he was willing to die for her, and he had forgiven her. He accepted everything that she was. He forgave her. He was willing to die and spare her the trauma of knowing that they had a relationship. He wanted to protect her from all of that, and that was the first person who actually did that for her. And he knew everything about her and still accepted her. And that's where she changed her feelings towards him, where he was no longer just this target to kill. She was like, I need to save this person because I've never met such an amazing person.
Yeah, he did a selfless act for her. Yeah.
That was her. coming to a realization about him.
Yeah, so that's
So that like negates all of the he groomed her, blah blah, all that crap. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I love their relationship, so you're not gonna tell me that it's not awesome. Just saying.
Yes, the pawns. The pawns.
She does like literally imprison herself
Like
too.
I think just it's just the tragic way that she had to go through it, like backwards.
Well, she imprisoned herself because she killed him. Like, she's on record. Like, it's official. She is on trial for having killed the doctor.
No,
now we know in the wedding of River Song that he didn't actually die, but in history books, she killed the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she did imprison herself because she could leave whenever she wants.
She can leave whenever she wants.
Remember, the Tesseract was looking for her. The Tesseract already had her on record. They were looking for her because she is one of the greatest villains in the universe because she killed the doctor. That's why she allowed herself to be taken, because that is still the rap on her. Nobody know he's still out here just running around doing whatever he does.
And we know she got out of prison. It's not like she was in there for life.
Get out whenever she feel like it.
But she's never really imprisoned. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, that's how she got out. Like
she was complying with the law.
So.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, I'll serve my time. Teehee.
She has the penal facility vacation home, pretty much.
HD Teddy makes a good point too. If she's there, the doctor always knows where she is.
Yeah, so it's a good place to receive her mail.
A few of the times they were coming back, they were like, "I just
Stockholmish to me, like you self-imprisoning yourself, and so you're."
She committed a crime. How is saying I'm guilty of a crime Stockholm?
I'm just saying, like, if you can leave, if you choose to self-imprison yourself.
But she wasn't truly imprisoned.
That's what I'm saying.
She also knew she didn't kill him. So.
Well, the thing is,
it's a free
on
shelter.
the outside, she would never have a moment of peace. She would always be on the run. So at least if she has the liberties and she has the wherewithal to be able to get out whenever she likes, might as well accept the punishment that's given to her, because she would never have a moment of peace. I mean, you had a time-traveling cyborg, shapeshifter that was operated by little bitty people that was on the lookout for her. She couldn't just live a regular life. She's convicted of killing the doctor. You can't just live a normal life.
I mean, you can, you just choose not to.
No, you can't. You can't just ever be in your house, cooking up some pasta. You know what I'm saying? The SWAT team coming through the door. Like, they coming through the door.
If you recall in the Angels 2-parter, where we first see her in season 5, she is currently serving her sentence. Like, at that time, she is in jail, but they're using her expertise to help with the planet. And the guy who's with her is like responsible for her, making sure she doesn't run off, all this and that. And when the doctor finally asked her, hey, what are you in prison for? They said you killed someone, and she said, yes, the most wonderful man. So it seems in that moment that she might not remember exactly what happened, or she just, at the end of the day, she did still hurt the doctor. Like, it's fine for someone to feel guilty over their own actions and want to say, hey, I do deserve, some kind of punishment for it.
I mean, but does she really? Because they raised her from a birth. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying what she might feel.
They programmed her and then it wiped her memory. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the only thing she could really remember was trying to find her parents and the fact that she needed to kill the doctor. Like, that's it. So
and so
really
she
blame
might.
When somebody does that to you?
No, but she might feel that way for herself. Like, oh, I tried to kill the love of my life. I'll do my sentencing, but at night I'm still having adventures with him. So it's a little bit of both, where maybe she feels like, yeah, I should have some sort of punishment, but not like a deep, like I need to be punished, but just like a, I'll accept the criminal charges. I won't run from what I did.
There's a time she actually believes she killed him because the future her witnessed the past her kill him, and the past her will not be able to retain those memories.
But Frank, we talked about that where at the end of the wedding of River Song, she finds Amy and she's like, "Oh, I just came back from this event. Oh, I had to pretend like I didn't know anything." So it kind of implies that she may have just been pretending she didn't remember. There's no conclusive anything. So all of this gets into like theoretical territory where it's
Yeah.
not clearly defined what she actually does remember and what's in that journal that she's reading.
The one thing, regardless of what she remembers, what she doesn't remember, the one thing that we do know is that she's not telling anyone that the doctor's still alive. She doesn't tell anyone. And that's the perception that she killed the doctor. For those who know, Kay Stewart and Unit and all the other people, they think that she killed the doctor. And as long as the rest of the world thinks that she killed the doctor, then she's going to be guilty of killing the doctor. Which is why she has to accept the punishment that's laid out for that crime.
Yeah, it could be for his protection because the season before, like he got too big that all of his enemies gathered. And again with the Asylum of the Daleks, he had to get wiped out of their databanks. He just got too big.
Yeah. And apparently the silence, I don't think they're all gone. So.
And that's how she got out of prison, because if the person that you supposedly killed doesn't exist anymore, then they say you didn't do it. So that's how she got out of prison.
Yeah, and then she's like,
because
"Oh, now I have whatever degree. They just let me out."
Yeah, she was literally brainwashed.
Yeah, but not by the doctor, by those people.
Just because you didn't do the mental trauma doesn't mean she doesn't still have mental trauma. Like the mental trauma is still there, and for us to pretend like the mental trauma doesn't have side effects, like
of course.
willingly staying in a prison, like that's like she has real mental
really
damage.
Caught up on that part. I mean,
because it's a choice. It is a choice.
Yeah,
it is a choice. People
get out whatever they want.
People stay in bad relationships and justify it. Like she doesn't have to rock with the doctor. She can choose to do something else. She chooses to rock with the doctor. That's a choice.
The prison
and she's making that choice off of a history of being mentally manipulated. Like that bleeds in. Like you can't normally, that type of mental trauma is not a switch. You don't just turn it off and on. It doesn't work like that. If you've been mentally jacked up, it bleeds into everything. I'm just saying in real world terms. But of course, this is Doctor Who, and we're not talking about real psychological trauma. But if we're having this conversation, then she was mentally jacked up, and now she's attached herself to the most powerful person in existence, and she's willingly imprisoning herself. Like that sounds pretty bad. That's how I see it.
It is interesting that you're latching on to the prison thing, because that's more of just like she's not really imprisoned in the sense that she's feeling like she's in prison. It's more of like if you have an escape artist who thinks it's really fun to get out of places, they're going to put themselves into places for them to get out of. For her, this is kind of like a fun little tease. She messes with the guard. She's like, "Oh, make sure to have my dinner ready." She's in control.
You don't think she's mentally damaged from a child?
I didn't say that. I said for her being in prison, that is her having fun.
And you don't think that's mentally...
I didn't say that. I said her being in prison isn't a sense of like her just wanting to stay trapped. For her, it's fun because she's not trapped.
It's also hard to process what kind of brain she has, because she's got like that Time Lord brain where she understands things in a different dimension than normal people.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's true too. I forgot that she's part Time Lordish.
And every night they go on adventures. So it's like, so in the day she sits in a cell and she writes in her diary and she gets people to bring her all these different things. And then she has the time of her life, sometimes gone for weeks. And then she just kind of goes back and it's whatever. It's a game. It's like, for her, that's just a house. That's all that is. She's going back home after a night out of fun.
Yeah, she's got a maid, somebody that brings her food all the time, and she don't have to worry about a bed being made. She ain't got to water the flowers. She ain't got to walk the dog. She's
Like, she's not in case. She can literally leave whenever she wants. It's like a reckless teenager who just is out all the time, but they come back home because that's where they go to sleep. That's where they get a free meal. But then they go out missing for weeks at a time.
The thing about it is, the choices that she makes are definitely questionable, definitely questionable. But the thing is to say that she's got this level of this degree of trauma because of her proximity to the doctor. Well, hell, I've never met the doctor in my life, and I got some same trauma that she got. So, I think that's just a part of living, that we all deal with stuff and how we deal with it. The way I could have identical symptoms and things that have happened to you, and you might take it, you might deal with it in a completely different manner than I deal with it, and that's okay too. I don't understand the choice she made. To Centel's point, I don't understand.
She's crazy. Like,
I don't
I love
understand
her.
the whole going back to the prison thing, because it just seems like, why don't she tell everybody the doctor's alive? Okay, there's some reasons. Maybe she doesn't and doesn't get her out of it. Okay, maybe she feels a certain sort of guilt for that. Maybe there's a lot of things that are in there that we didn't write the story, so we can make a lot of assumptions on why she's doing what she's doing. I think to the original question, I don't think it's Stockholm syndromes at all, because I think that's a completely different thing. For whatever it is that she feels towards a doctor, even if she has been manipulated, her choice to love somebody who was once her target, that's some damn near some Mr. and Mrs. Smith type shit. Like, it's her choice to love him, to even marry him or whatever. That's completely different from she was taken, kidnapped as a child, manipulated, and pointed at this man to assassinate him.
Yeah,
that's different. It's a different thing.
There's a Hollywood story in what this is, and that's great and that's fun. And then, but if you think about it, if you really like look at it, it's messed up. It's really messed up. But from a Hollywood standpoint, like I said, I think she's one of my favorite characters, and it makes for good storytelling. But yeah, when we were gonna have the conversation in real world terms, there's no defending that. It's messed up. It's really messed up, and very twisted.
They literally took a baby and was like, "This how we gonna get rid of you?" What?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no defending it, but
not only took a baby, but made sure she couldn't have any more. Like, that's even worse, Like, dang, they sterilized her.
But do you fault River or even the doctor for them getting together and being married or whatever? Because then you say, people stand around at a party and be like, "Hey, how'd y'all meet?" Crazy story.
Crazy story.
My best friend got somebody stole her baby.
Can you imagine the looks on people's face after she got to tell that story? They're just like, look, I know that we are having a wonderful time, and and I wasn't really doing time checks, but we've been talking for a little minute. So I know that people got stuff to do on this wonderful Friday, and I know that people got to go and, get they fake tattoos on and get ready for this madness that we're gonna call a I don't even know what it is, just a fight later on tonight.
Clown shoes is what this is.
Yeah, this is some madness. Yeah, madness. This is the penultimate. This is where we are in society. This is what proves is entertainment. Somebody done taken a rabid pit bull and said, "You know what? We're gonna let you fight against this crazy little YouTube boy."
And then we're gonna water our crops with Gatorade after we're done.
Yes, pretty much. All praise to the orange man. Praise to the Cheeto. Cheeto in chief. Yes. Oh my God. This is the time we need a damn TARDIS. I tell you that. We need a TARDIS to get out of here. Oh,
I love the conversation though. This was fun. This was fun. Hey, listen, before I know you're wrapping everything up, but I just want to make sure everybody knows. Please head over to Rakai's YouTube page and hit that subscription button. And if you really enjoy the conversation that Rakai brings, support his Patreon. Even if you know, just be like, if it's a one-time thing, cool, that works too. That works. And then let the page win you over. But it's always a really good thing to show love to your favorite content creators, and Rakai's definitely one of my favorite content creators. I'm almost done, and then I'm gonna let you grab it. Local Alien, thank you so much for being here. I love going back and forth with you. You have no idea. You're one of my favorite people. Sherelle, absolutely. You are my penguin buddy right now. You're my ride or die penguin. And Frank, you have a interesting way of looking at life in general that always makes me laugh. I love you to death, my guy, and you already know how I feel about you, Rakai. You're my hetero life mate, my guy. And I'm off my soapbox. Please show love to Rakai's channel.
Absolutely. I need it. I want it. I love it. Yeah. Hey, listen. New slogan. Come on, Jay Tandon. He know what's up. Yes.
I like that. The quest for 10K.
Yes, the quest for 10K. That sounds like a bad Star Trek movie. I like it. I do want to thank everyone. This kind of very similar to last week. We decided to play a little loose and off the cuff this week. Sometimes doing these deep dives, it is a difficult process. It's not. I don't even know how really I got into this corner where I do these deep dives, as opposed to, most of you know me as doing reactions with Centel. And I just say the shit that I say. And then it kind of bled over into me doing deep dives and then trying to be introspective for some crazy reason. Who does that? But every now and then, the thing is, you guys, and Sophie has seen it, our local alien, she's seen it probably more than most. We, a lot of times on the Discord, we have these sessions and we just talk. We just talk shit and we just talk about whatever, whenever, wherever. And it's one of those things that it's kind of nice to be able to do that with you all as well. By all means, make sure that I would love your support. So Patreon, YouTube, subscribe to either one of those. Make sure that you go to Centel's page, join his Patreon. If you join the Patreon, then make sure that you join the Discord, because on there, if you're a Patreon member, then you get to go to this wonderful little exclusive section called Watch Us Work. And it's a lot of times when we're doing some of these reactions, you'll get to see us do it live in color when we're doing it. And it may not show up on the YouTube for months later. You may see something that's a Patreon exclusive, like we just did Agatha All Along. We're doing the Penguin right now that won't be on the YouTube, but they will be on the Patreon. So, and there's a lot of other stuff we're doing on there. You get a chance to see Frank is doing the audio dramas with Doctor Who. He owns all of them. And I don't know if y'all know how just crazy that is. That he has all of them. And that's a lot. It's crazy. And he does those on there whenever he gets a chance. Sophie, she is one of the mods on there. She is fantastic. She listen, you heard it in here. Sophie's got a way of saying stuff that you're like, well, damn. And she has a podcast that will be coming out. I'm not going to steal her thunder, but she's got one that'll be coming out whenever she's ready to pull the trigger on that. It'll go the Sassy Ladies. So it's going to be something, because the ladies that are on this, they're going to have something to say, and y'all need to hear it. Again, thank you for showing up. Make sure that you join the Discord so you can see more of us kind of in this natural thing. And probably next week we will get to talking about something specific, but this week was fun to just kind of chop it up and talk about whatever. And we may do something, I guess, maybe at the beginning of next week, where we're talking about more of what the schedule is for the week going forward. So
and HT Teddy wants you guys to also make it a goal to get over to one another's places. Wondering what she's wanting you guys to do when you get there, but that is something she'd like to see as well.
They've never
we
met in
would too.
person. We talked about it. They've never actually seen each other in person.
Yeah.
Yes, that'll be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here for it. Oh shoot, man. I guess yeah. I ain't got nothing else to say, man. I already said my piece.
He said,
I'm good.
yeah.
Hey, look. I mean, you know, we can go on and get that platform kind of kickstarted a little bit. Ricardo is saying, you know.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Look, shoot or shoot. I'm gonna release.
I see what you did there. You never know. We might get some stuff popping on the Discord, and I guess there's a lot of stuff that's coming out here in the next month or so. So we'll figure it out and get our. That's a series, right? It's not a movie. It's a series, right?
The platform? No, it's a movie. I think it's a
Is
movie.
it?
It's a movie.
It's a movie. That's only an hour and a half. It's only 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes. Easy peasy. Real quick. Look.
You're upset because now you have less of an excuse not to watch it.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I tried. Damn. Okay. We'll see. We'll talk about it, I guess.
People want.
Next, you're gonna ask how long it is, and it's only like 87 minutes.
It's 87 minutes. It's so long. It's one of the long movies.
85 without the credits.
Ooh. It's negative 85. I don't watch none of it. So
No, one day Centel is going to be like, all right, let's play Game of Thrones. And then he just starts playing the movie.
No. You've used that one on me already. And we're not over that one again. I was like, wait, what the hell? Okay. All right.
That's all nice. Can't do that to me. I'm out.
All right. For everyone who joined us for the live, we will see you next week. But hopefully we'll see you before that in the Discord.